Okay, what is everybody? Today we're back again with another video. Today we are going to be looking at some pictures that I actually found while snooping around on Expansive World / Avalanche Studios website, and I found not just a link to the trailer, which we've probably all seen now. If you haven't, I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. But there's actually some images that they posted on there regarding the new reserve that we have not seen yet as far as I'm concerned. And there are 17 of them in total. One of them is the logo of the map, so I will just leave that out here. But why don't we look at the first picture? Some of these we will have seen from the trailer, so some of these are just screenshots I assume from the actual trailer. But let's start with this. And this is just going to be one of those pictures from a scenery. You can see one of the feral pigs here. There's also another one as far as I can see that's back there. And that does look to be the black and gold fur variation, so we can at least make some kind of a prediction on the fur variations that we're going to have for these. There is also another one that we saw in the trailer. I assume this might be melanistic because it's like extremely black. So I think they're showing off a little bit more of the rares here, but we have this next, and I would assume that if this could zoom in properly, there we go, is some more of these goats that we have on here, the new ones. And we see quite a bit of variation on them as well, which I like a lot. Let me just figure out how to zoom here. There we go. So we can have a slight look here. It's a little bit blurred, I know, but we can have a look a little bit at their horns. And yeah, I mean, they do look pretty cool. We can't really see them from the front. It's a bit of a bad angle to look at them, but we can see some of the furs that they have. There's also one up here. If I could, let's look. Can we zoom into him? There we go. He does look to be a little bit different. He has like a white spot here. He's darker here. Maybe another fur variation. I don't know, but does look pretty cool. And then the vegetation on here, I also want to talk about that. We've got palm trees here. We've got quite a bit of new vegetation that we haven't seen yet. As far as I'm concerned, we've never seen palm trees. We've seen trees like this and grass like this. Obviously, we're going to see that in a lot of the reserves. But having some new plants like the palm trees, I also saw another one on one of the other pictures, which is pretty cool. But I just wanted to go through these kind of and just give my opinion. So why don't we move on now? This is the first time where we're actually going to see at least what I would believe to be what the lookout towers are going to look like. We also have a picture of them in a second, looking at them from the inside, but they do look really cool. I like the way that looks. And I think we can already find one of the first outpost locations, because if you look here, there is this big road that's going along here, and there's a little like small road going out here, and I don't know how good it shows on camera, but if you look at this yourself in person, you can see that there is some sort of a driveway here, which I would assume that there might be an outpost there. The other idea that I had is that it might be here, but this, now looking at it, looks more to be part of the road rather than some kind of a house. So I would assume that we're gonna have an outpost somewhere at this lake in this area over here. And then just look at this, like, this just looks amazing. Like the way this just like opens up back here. There's not too much vegetation around the water, which I think is really nice, so that we can find we should be able to find the animals really easily in terms of when they're drinking around here and just are there, and they're not going to hide, especially because some of the animals are a little bit smaller. But what I would assume, a nice big open green area, maybe a spot for rabbits. I don't know, I'm just assuming here, but big nice open area. I'm going to assume that quite a bit of animals are feeding there, and if we can go out here on this edge here of this lookout tower, I think that could be really cool to kind of hunt them from up there and use it as like a really high up like tree stand / tripod stand. But it's a lookout tower, so you're still gonna get full hunting pressure, but would be cool if they feed around there and we could shoot from up there. Now we already saw this picture, it's just a bit of a different angle. Now we can look at this different fur variation right here. Now again, you can see it's kind of black at the top, white in the middle. I assume this is gonna be maybe something like a piebald, but maybe they have a more specific actual like fur variation name. I'm just kind of going based off what most of the fur variations are called. I would assume that might be a piebald. It might be an uncommon though, but the uncommon look to be more like this kind of brownish whitish color, and just based on the majority, I would assume that there's also something like a gray, because this one looks a lot darker in terms of white than this one. But I mean, we know that from classic as well, these goats have very different like fur variations there, and they're all like kind of uncommon. So I don't know what we can expect in terms of like proper rare fur variations, or if there's more uncommons and this is just a different uncommon fur variation. I don't know, but I just wanted to show that off because I think that looks really cool, these kind of pictures, and that we can see them now already before the map is released. For anybody who's wondering, it is going to be released on December 10th for PC. Console is going to be coming early 2021, so they did mention that. Sorry to all of console players, but like that, you are probably going to be getting a smoother release. If there's any issues, they should be fixed for your release, but do stick with it. You are going to be getting the reserve. I know it sucks. It's been a hard year for everybody here, so just don't try and get on Expansive Worlds / Avalanche Studios specs. They are working on it. They did mention it earlier this time, so I hope that there's not going to be too much chaos. I know some people are upset, especially the console players, but see the positive side, you're probably going to get a more refined and refurbished final product in the end. Now, this is where we can look at the first time at this proper lookout tower, and would you look at that? Doesn't this just look absolutely cool? Like, why I said earlier that we could probably hunt from this up here is because there's a door right there, and I assume you walk in like a circular pattern here in the middle, come up out here, and then you can probably just hunt around this whole entire area. I mean, wouldn't this just be absolutely cool? Now, this is, I think, the same lake that we just saw from the bird's eye angle, and this does look to be like a very open area, so if they do feed here, I think this could be a very, very good spot for also grinding some animals, placing a tent like down here, running up this thing, taking your 4 or 5 shot, not 4 or 5, but like 2 or 3 animals down, going back down and picking them up. I think that could be really, really effective if they do feed around there, but we're just gonna have to wait until December 10th to see if that will be the case or not. Now, moving on, this is where we're gonna see the picture inside. Now, this is why I mentioned why I thought that we're gonna have like a spiral staircase leading up, similar to how we have on Quattro Colinas, where you kind of run around in a circle until you're at the top. This is obviously a little bit more advanced and looks a little bit kind of like a lighthouse. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from here, but you do see this door. Usually we can open these doors, so I would assume that we can go outside and have a look at the reserve, especially since we have a lot of glass pane windows here that look to be like that were tinted or are just dirty with dust on them, so that we can get that nice viewing angle. Plus, the icon for which we have to actually unlock the lookout tower is on the outside, which basically just confirms that we can go out there. I don't assume that they're going to try and make us claim it inside here with the desk. So we are going to have an amazing view from up there, and I can't wait to go ahead and see that. Now, here's just another look at the chamois. I mean, they just look really good. I mean, I'm curious to see how big they get, because I looked at some pictures yesterday on Google because I didn't know too much about them, but they do get horns that are like a lot longer than this. So I would assume that this is maybe like a silver or gold, but I don't know how rare those tall ones are because I specifically said like biggest chamois in the world, but who knows? We're gonna see that really soon. I just wanted to show you guys these pictures. We have seen them already in the trailer quite close up, but here again we have the vegetation. We can see some of the little ideas and like props, I guess I would call them, that were in the map, because they're like these movie sets all around the reserve. We're gonna get another picture as well, and in the pre-release trailer that we got as well, so not the one that we got on Tuesday but the one we got last week, we got to see a green screen set on there, which just makes me believe that we're gonna have like little movie scenes in the actual map that we can like go ahead, walk around and look around. And I think the story missions are going to be related to the movie. That, I don't know, maybe the actors got attacked by something, but we don't really have predators, so I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see, but I think this is really, really cool. There's also a helicopter that crashed somewhere in the middle here, which we did see in the trailer, which I think is going to be really fun and a really detailed map with a lot of interactive things that we can see. Here's just another angle of the same set again. I mean, it's nothing huge or crazy big, but it's something small and something cool, which I always like to like explore in the game, and it's probably gonna have some kind of like point of interest on it where we can read what's actually going on here and why this is here, which is gonna be very interesting to read what this is. I would assume it's a movie set like I just said, but maybe it's something else. I don't know. These are just assumptions I'm making here. Again, we got another picture of kind of the wide open lands. I think that they mentioned this in the trailer. This is going to be more of the southern area of the map, if I remember correctly, and this is the more open area. So it's going to be similar to Silver Ridge, where there's going to be an area that's more kind of a plains-ish area. Then we're going to have an area further up north that's a little bit more rocky, a little bit more mountainous, maybe a little more thick vegetation. And then we have some kind of like a swamp slash beachy area as well, where they showed off the fallow deer and the sika deer as well. Now here, this is something we did see in the trailer. There's this big ridge going along this open ridge. I would assume that to the left of us here is where we saw that lake and that Loco Tower that I was talking about with the open area. And I think this is where it actually opens up to the big sea that I was mentioning earlier. And I think this could be a cool spot. I don't think we're going to be able to place a tent in the middle here, but maybe placing a tripod stand there or something like that would be really good for grinding animals that are along here, because you're going to have a really nice view and probably good angle for taking anything down that's drinking on this side, or maybe up here. But like I said, these are just assumptions. I'm just getting some ideas, and I'm really hyped about this. So I'm curious where this is going to be taking us later on. Let's move on. Here we can see we have this fur variation already on the wild boar. And this is the black and gold, I think it's called. It's really rare, but looks absolutely stunning. And again, we can see some more of the vegetation here that's a bit different. I always forget what these are called in English, but they're not quite palm trees. But again, a new tree that we're getting here. Rest of the vegetation does look like we already had this before, similar to Quattro. And a little bit of a parquet vibe is what I'm getting here in terms of the vegetation that we're going to be seeing here. Then moving on, just another angle. This is basically the exact same picture we had at the beginning with that where I was thinking about it's a melanistic, just that we had the camera over here. So now we're seeing it from basically as if we turned the scene 180 degrees around. But yeah, I mean, looks really cool. I'm gonna skip through this because there's nothing new that I can talk about. This is the other fur variation I was talking about. We saw a lot of these in like a big group on the trailer, so I might think that this might be the common fur variation, or I don't know, maybe a black and white piebald. Not too sure. You guys can let me know if you know anything about like actual fur variations in IRL, with the sheep that I was talking about earlier and the feral pig, feral hog, however you want to call it. I don't know. This could be a common. I don't know. I really don't know, but I know that here in Germany at least, some of the pigs that I've seen on like a TV show or when I drive like through the countryside, that they do always look kind of whitish with black spots on. So this kind of makes me believe that this might be a common, but I might be completely wrong. Again, another look here just at a Loco Tower, and I would assume this is the chamois. Again, this is a bit more of the mountainous and rocky area that we can see back here. So a very different change in landscape, but it does seem to be like we can walk here because we do see an animal running down here. So I do believe that we can go up here, but we're definitely not going to be able to climb. There we go. Climb this area up here. We probably might be able to go up here somewhere from this side, but falling down there, oof, you better have a tin up there so you don't have to walk up here every single time. But we've got one picture left now, and it's just another angle again. Again, here we can see kind of this mountainous, rocky area, which I would assume is going to be more for the chamois and the sheep. But I don't know, like they talked about in the trailer kind of where the animals are, but obviously some animals are going to be all around the reserve and some animals are just going to be area bound. I'm going to be assuming it's going to be similar to Silver Ridge, where in the bottom area we're probably going to have more things like probably the fallow deer like they said, maybe more of the hogs down there, and then in the north we're going to have obviously the goats, the chamois and stuff like that. But that is all just my assumptions, and of course the last picture, we already saw that is just the logo. So that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed going through these pictures. I'm gonna link the trailer in the description, like I said, if you want to have a full look at that. I will also link the page on where I found these images from. This is from the official Expansive Worlds website, so these should be legit. There should not be any kind of weird mistake, issue, something like that. But like I said, if you enjoyed this video and are hyped for the new map, definitely press that link down, the like button down below. Also, if you're new here or you just haven't done so yet, please do hit that subscribe button, as it really does help the channel out and does mean a lot to me as well. Also, if you haven't done so, link to my Discord is down in the description as well. I'd love to have you join there. And That's the way that you always get notified if you don't have the bell icon on, in terms of when I live stream or new videos just like this go live. But most importantly, and to end this whole thing off, have a good day. Bye bye and peace.